Welcome to Changjiang Dialogue. Today we are joined by Honorable Emelia Arthur, Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development of Ghana. Minister Arthur is visiting Wuhan as part of his study tour. Minister Arthur, thank you for joining us. Minister, how would you describe the current state of Ghana's fisheries and aquaculture? And what are the main challenges you are facing today?
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I would say that we are not doing badly, but of course, there's a lot that we can do more. Probably it's not known to people around the world, but in Ghana, fisheries and aquaculture is very important to us because 60% of animal protein comes from fish. But we get fish production from marine and inland, freshwater, and also aquaculture. Unfortunately, about 60% of that comes from marine, and the rest comes from inland. But only 17% comes from aquaculture. And we have a gap. We have a demand of fish of 1.2 million tons a year, but we are only able to produce 550,000 tons. So there's almost about 700 metric tons deficit that we need to close, and that we believe we can produce from aquaculture.
In your view, which parts of the freshwater aquaculture value chain are holding back Ghana's development the most?
I would say is breeding and genetics, and then followed by fish feed. Fish feed alone in Ghana takes about 70% of the cost of aquaculture. So we are looking into fish feed programs that we use local inputs that will reduce the cost of fish feed. I think also that essentially the whole area of research and development for us to know whether we continue with the species we have or we introduce species variety. I think also that the whole issue of value addition. So even if we are producing enough fish, and in Ghana, freshwater fishes and aquaculture fishes, mainly tilapia and aquaculture, you want to add value so that you get more resources from it. So those are the areas that we are looking at.
Why did you choose China for this study visit? And what were you hoping to learn here?
China and Ghana have a long relationship. It started with our first president, the founder of Ghana. And so if we are looking at areas to improve, areas to study from, areas to learn from, we look at China because our story is not that different from your story. We know how China used to be in the past and where China is today. So we chose China to come and learn from the good things that you are doing here. So we'll apply to our society as well. And so far, we have been very impressed. In fact, the Institute of Hydrobiology shares a lot of things that we would like to replicate in our country when we are able to form a working partnership with the Institute.
During your visit today to the Institute of Hydrobiology in Wuhan, which areas stood out to you, and why are they relevant to Ghana?
So conservation and reservation, ecosystem and ecological enhancement really stood out for me, and also biosecurity, animal health and biosecurity. That is one of our weakest links in Ghana aquaculture, and therefore would like to work with the Institute to support us advance our work in biosecurity. And also breeding, genetics, diversification. So do we continue with the current fish species we have? Can we diversify? And also very important for me, since Wuhan has a lot of water bodies, freshwater bodies, and Ghana has quite a number of freshwater bodies from the lakes to rivers to lagoons. would like to work with the Institute to help us ascertain the carrying capacity of some of our water bodies, especially the Volta Lake, around which we want to develop aquaculture and economic development corridor.
Hubei province is one of China's major freshwater aquaculture regions. Which part of Hubei experience do you think Ghana could adopt?
I think what I've seen so far about and read so far, and we went to the museum, and here it's the different variety of species in the Yangtze River. And if it's possible, we would like to work with this institute to adopt the approach. I see that there was a decision to ban fishing for 10 years. I am not sure if we can ban fishing for that long in any of our water bodies, but it's worth trying. We are creating the first marine protected area in Ghana, and we probably can learn from that and learn from the Yangtze River experience and see what we can do better to conserve our water bodies.
Looking ahead, do you see practical cooperation between Ghana and Hubei, especially Wuhan? If so, what do you think could be the first step?
I've just outlined 12 different areas of collaboration with the Institute. I mean, one of it is just human capacity training, so talent exchange training. 2 is research into breeding. There's one professor I just met who has a lot of experience. His master's was in tilapia, his PhD was in tilapia, and tilapia is the freshwater fish in Ghana.
Further into the future, what changes would you like to see in Ghana's freshwater fisheries, and what role could China play in that journey?
I'd like to see more fish in the freshwaters of Ghana. I'd like to see that we are managing our water bodies better. I'd like to see improvements in biodiversity conservation, and China's role is exchange of ideas, learning together, and I guess giving us grants to do some more work.
Minister Arthur, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us. Thank you.
Thank you.